Welcome back to a Fifth of Jack Gaming, where today we're going to bust open winnings that we got from the pre-release. We ended up getting 2 packs of Kamigawa. Looks like out of pack 1 we ended up getting the art card. That is Moonful Puzzle Maker by Miguel Mercado. It's number 6 out of 81. Windscarred Craig. Enters the battlefield tapped. And when it enters the battlefield, we gain 1 life. And you can tap for a red or a white. Then we got a fancy full art forest. This little art point is right on point. Fancy frame of the Azari Captain. Costs 3, a red and a white for a human samurai. It's a 4/3 body, haste, and whenever a samurai or a warrior you control attacks alone, it gets +1/+0 till end of turn for each samurai or warrior you control. Again, there's some nice little pumps in the theme deck, I would say. Then we got Grafted Growth. It costs 2 and a green for an enchantment aura. Enchanted land. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature or vehicle you control. Enchanted land has tap, add 2 mana of any one color. And then we have the Greater Tanuki. It costs 4 and 2 green. It's a dog that's a 6/5 body, has trample, has this little thing called channel. Costs 2 and a green. We get to discard it. And we get to search our library for a basic land card and put it on the battlefield, tap, and then shuffle. So channel is something that we end up discarding the card, obviously what it says with it, to be able to get the set ability of that. Then we got Commune with Spirits. It costs 1 green. It's a sorcery. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an enchantment or a land card from among them and put it into your hand. Then put the rest of them at the bottom of your library in a random order. Flame Discharge costs X and a red for an instant. It's also our first uncommon. So what it ends up doing is it deals X amount of damage to a target creature or planeswalker. If you control a modified creature that as you cast this spell, it deals X +2 instead. So to become a modified creature, they have to have an equipment aura or a counters on them, and then they'll be modified. Doesn't have them all; they just have to have one of them. Uprising Renegade costs 1 and a red for a human samurai. It gets a +2/+0 for each other modified creature you control. Has a 1/3 body. And then we're starting a saga. The Life of Terso Uzue. Costs 1 and a black. At the first one, they have first and second is right together. They have it over there. So that means the first time you play it, you end up doing it next turn. And then the turn after that, you end up having the third one. So at the first one, we get the target creature gets +X+. At the first one, a target creature will get +2/+2 until end of turn. Or a target creature will get -1/-1, or you can gain 2 life. You can do that for the first and the second one. And then at the third one, we exile it, and it becomes the Memory of Tesoro. Enchantment creature, a human samurai. It's a 2/3 body. Tap, pay 1 life, add black. Spend this mana to cast only instants and sorceries. Then we have another saga. The Shattered States of Era. Costs 4 and a red. The first one, we get to gain control of a target creature until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste until end of turn. At the second one, creatures you control get +1/+0. And then at the third one, we exile it, and it becomes the Nameless Conqueror. The Nameless Conqueror. It's an enchantment creature that's a human samurai. It's a 3/3 body, and it's trample and haste. And then our rare is Tsumi Reality Architect. It costs 2 and a blue for a legendary creature. So that means it could be your commander. It's a Merfolk Wizard. It's a 2/3 body. Whenever one or more non-creature permanents are returned to your whenever one or more non-creature permanents are returned to your hand, draw a card. This ability triggers only once per turn. And then it also has the activated ability of paying X and a white. Return a land card to your hand or to the owner's hand. Return a target artifact or enchantment card with a mana value of X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this only as a sorcery. So that means we could let's say we have this in there, because you have to flip it back. So we can end up paying white, and then in this case 5, and return a land, and we'll be able to get this back from our graveyard right on the battlefield and be able to use it. Man, that was a lot wordy. It's a pretty good card that ended up helping out a lot with that pre-release. Duchy Shadow Walker costs us 4 and 2 black for Ogre Ninja. Interesting combination there. It's a 5/5 body, and it has this little thing called Jutsu. We can pay a black and 3 for it, the cost of that. But Jutsu lets us return an unblocked attacker to our hand and put this card instead. And the final card is Tamu's Notebook. It's a token, legendary artifact. Spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. And pay or tap it, draw a card. Alright, that's the first pack. We got the second pack of that guy, and that is Kato Sitsu. It's by Corona Haga. Number 70 out of 81. Full Art Forest. Blade Blizzard Katsuni. Costs us 2 and a white for a Fox Ninja. That's a 2/2 body. It's a little washed out with that little border, so it's a little challenging. Ninjutsu costs us 3 and a white, and it has double strike. Guardians of Orobo costs us 2 and a blue for a Moonfork Samurai. It's a 3/4 body, has defender. Modified creatures you control can attack as though they don't have defender. Drama, that's a puppet. Costs us 4 for an artifact creature construct as a 2/4 body. And when it enters the battlefield, each kind of counter on a target permanent, or for each kind of counter on a target permanent, put another counter of that kind on it, or remove from it. Unstoppable Ogre costs us 2 and a red for an Ogre Warrior. That's a 4/1, and when it enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn. And then we have a Peerless Samurai. Costs us 2 and a red for a Human Samurai. It's a 2/3 body, has Minutes or Minache, and it means that this creature can't be blocked except for by 2 or more creatures. And whenever a samurai or a warrior you control attacks alone, the next spell you cast this turn costs us 1 cardless less. And then we have a Rakan Ronin, costs us 1 and a red for a Goblin Samurai. It's a 1/3 body, and whenever a samurai or a warrior you control attacks alone, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Then we got the Sky Blessed Samurai that costs us 6 and a white. For a Human Samurai, it's a 4/4. It's also the first uncommon out of the pack. This spell costs us 1 less to cast for each enchantment that you control. Has flying. To continue on the old samurai train, Durga Yasuma, the poet, costs us 2 and a white for a legendary creature, which that means you could be your commander. Just saying. It's a human samurai that is a 3/2 body, and it has vigilance. That means it doesn't have to tap to attack. And whenever a samurai or a warrior you control attacks alone, you may cast a target enchantment spell from your graveyard this turn. Interesting. You know what happens to be an enchantment? Sagas. Azusa's Many Journeys costs 1 and a green. At step 1, we get to play an additional land this turn. At step 2, we gain 3 life. And at step 3, we flip her into the Likeness of the Seeker. It's a human monk that's a 3/3 body. And the Likeness of the Seeker becomes black. Untapped 3 lands that you control. And then we have Ashute, the Blazing Sky. It's a 2, or it costs 2 and 2 red. It's a 4/4 body. It's a legendary creature. Another commander, which would be a kind of a common thing that comes out of Kamigawa. It's a dragon spirit. It has flying, trample, and whenever it dies, we get to choose one. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until end of turn that you can play. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Or we get to create 3 treasure tokens. And that's a nice little mythic. And then our foil is Befriending the Moss. Costs 3 and a white. At the first one, we get to choose, or we get to target target creature you control gets a +1/+1 and gains flying until end of turn. So that's at the first and second step. And at the third step, it flips over into the Imperial Moth. It's an insect that's a 2/4 body and it has flying. And the final card is a Rat Rogue. 1/1 body. Well, that's all we got today, folks. Did you guys end up doing anything for the pre-release? Let us know down in the comments down below. Also, is there anything that you're looking forward to getting out of Kamigawa? These are the rares that you ended up getting out of it. I kind of had a lot of fun last night with this guy. Ended up digging stuff out of the graveyard and all of that. We're on our way to 50 subs. As I say, we're super, super close. When that happens, we have some packs that we're going to end up opening and a certain thing that we end up ordering. Thank you for watching. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell to be notified about any of our future content. Like I said before, thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.